Welcome to this series of talks whose purpose is to sort of help your transition to college, which for just about everybody is an enormously anxiety-provoking experience, and it's supposed to be. That's how growth happens. You're leaving behind everything that you've known and essentially starting over. But it's especially challenging for those of you who have arrived bringing a wounded soul. Some of you have suffered from sexual abuse, physical abuse, extreme neglect. But others of you have arrived with sort of smaller trauma experiences that come from perhaps a lack of emotional connection and warmth growing up that have left you with emotions of fear and shame. Really makes life so difficult to navigate, especially starting off in college. My name is Ann Bergen. I am a former teacher and principal, and for the last few years I've spent many hours interviewing young people who are in recovery from substance abuse and dealing with some pretty challenging mental health issues. They have courageously shared their stories of despair and ultimate triumph with me and have become a source of inspiration. Okay, sure, we've all agreed I'm old. But sharing my experience as an educator and my own rather pathetic journey through college allows me to maybe give a few words of wisdom that help make your journey a little bit easier. Because I know for certain as an educator, we've done a pretty good job of getting you into college, that we have helped you craft these great resumes. Unfortunately, we don't do as well about helping you survive and thrive in college and beyond, because two things we just don't do enough of. We don't help you understand your emotions and how to manage them, but also the other thing we don't teach you how to do is to manage time, and that's crucial to navigating college successfully. So right now I need to make it up to you. So let me share a little bit about my own pathetic experience, that reminding you that, of course, when I arrived in college, I was paralyzed by homesickness, had fear of just about everything, fear of failing, rejection, you name every form of fear, I had it. And then, of course, it was accompanied by shame. What a terrible disappointment I am. Yeah, loser was the word I heard most often. So now today we're going to add to that part of my journey, going to my first class. The professor assigns read 3 books, write 2 papers. That's for the whole semester. Okay? Second class, now read 12 articles, prepare an oral presentation. Okay. Third class, get together with a group and create a project on the impact of something on something else. A group project? I don't know anybody. How am I going to do this? So, of course, I did what any normal person would do under the circumstances. I returned to my dorm, curled up in a fetal position, and I did hear some sound like a wounded coyote, and then I realized actually that was coming from me. So, let's go. 5 things I wish I knew. Here we go. And I said this before, I'm going to say it again. I just wished I knew that I wasn't alone, that going to college for so many people is really anxiety-provoking. And it is challenging in so many ways. But I wish I knew that there were things that I could begin to do something about it right away. 2, I wish I knew that procrastination, which was the way I did things, putting off everything until tomorrow, was about the worst coping strategy I could employ. It meant staying up all-nighters the night before something was due, stuffing myself with food, fraying emotionally. It wasn't good. I wish I knew that setting up routines and a consistent structure is the most powerful way of giving coherence in the face of chaos. Someone said that, I don't know who, but it sounded good. 3, I wish I had known that overeating and sleeping and crying were my way of just trying to make the discomfort go away. I didn't want to face anything, so this was my way of doing it. I'll put it off until tomorrow. This is a big one for, I wish I had taken better care of myself, that self-care was more important to me. I wish I'd known how fundamental getting enough sleep and exercise and eating right were, that they would help me put anxiety and fear in their proper place. And 5, and I think probably the most important, I wish I knew that very few people can cope with trauma alone. I wish I had reached out to the people whose job it was to help me, that there was no shame in that. I wish I had known then how life-changing it would have been if I had even started earlier. All right, 5 things you can do today. I want to get through this because you've got lots of things to do. Here we go. Number 1, the most important thing, get a calendar. Create a calendar. I don't know care how you do it. Get the calendar. You can use one of these old-fashioned ones. I think these are really effective only because they're right out there in front of you all the time. If you put it on your phone or your computer, it's too easy to get distracted. You might go back to the old-fashioned way. Just a suggestion. All right. Just a few things you're going to put in that calendar. Get all your class times in the calendar. Do not skip classes, no matter how bad you feel. Get yourself to class. All right. Put in your due dates. Make sure you have them all in there. All of the things when they're due. Now also put in every day a 2-hour study block. And then a 1-hour block for exercise. And you will be amazed when you look at it, how much free time you actually have. Now, I know that I'm not going to promise you that putting it all out there you're not going to feel a little overwhelmed by this task. You might get even a little nauseous. But this is how you are facing your anxiety. You're looking it smack in the face. And here's a quote, which I love. I love throwing quotes in. I find them inspirational. If we are to survive life's darkest hours, we must wrest back control of our lives when it suddenly slips out of our grasp. All right, 2, locate a place to do your study block. Find the same place every day. A library is a good spot. Have your same table. Go there every day. It becomes a ritual, a habit. And then when you get there, you're just going to look on your calendar and you're going to locate the first due date because you already have it in there. And then you're going to put some time into that first. All right, third thing you're going to do. All right, you've got an hour exercise block. Figure out what you're going to do in that block. Exercise is one of the most important coping strategies that you'll need to employ for a lifetime. You may as well get started on it now because it wards off all the ill effects of chronic stress. Start small. In that hour, you don't have to fill the whole block with exercise. You don't have to run a marathon. You're challenging anxiety. You're taking control. Talk to your anxiety. I understand why you're there, but you're not in charge of me anymore. I'm gaining a sense of mastery, and I'm building my self-confidence. It may seem silly to talk to your anxiety, but you got to do it. 4, now this is important. Write in your journal as soon as you set up your calendar and say to yourself, today I took a huge step in taking back control of my life. I'm proud of myself. I can add that to what you already have in there. Remember the first time, I can do hard things, and it's not my fault. And 5, it's your life. You do not bring shame to anyone by reaching out for help. It's a sign of strength, not weakness. You are worth it. If you feel completely helpless, if you're feeling overwhelmed, reach out for help. You are not alone. And I leave today with this quote. Again, I love quotes. Until our next talk, life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage. life's crises can come to be our conquests. Remember, it's one small step at a time. You can do this. You can do hard things. Until next time.